So why believe?
So I will just backtrack. Basically, a year ago, I was extremely sick for about 4 months. I was diagnosed with some crazy stuff. And
From the shadow beneath the cracks, New York alley cats.
All right, Friday morning, and there's lots happening over the weekend. It's wonderful to be broadcasting a pre-weekend show which gives you things to do. My name is Hrishi K, and I'm pleased to welcome back into studio one of my favorite Indian musicians. I think he's Indian, man. He's been around for so long.
I know, 15 years.
Yeah, I can't think of Daniel Weber as American. Please welcome Daniel Weber into studio. There are a couple of reasons why Danny is here. One is a brand new smashing album is out. It's called Believe. It's out on all streaming sites. We're also going to be playing some of Believe here. It's 8 tracks, which really shows his growth as an artist. The second reason he's here is it kicks off the Believe India tour tonight, right here in Mumbai city, very close to where we're broadcasting out of. He's at the Bira 91 Tap Room, Kamla Mills. 8 p.m. is when the gig starts. Tonight, 21st of March. You want to set yourself up with tickets. Bring friends, family. Tickets are at Skillbox. If you're not able to get them at Skillbox, don't freak out. Get to Bira 91 Tap Room, and there'll be entry at the door. Danny, good to see you, man.
good to see you. Thank you for having me again and again and again.
Yeah, third time's
Thank
a
you.
charm.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm, and really so wonderful to see your growth as an artist. Because I mean, I'm the guy, like I've told you, I travel for rock music, man, and I'm constantly trying to discover old bands, new bands, and things like that. And
You're
music
few and
is-
far between, you know that? There's very few people that do this. Like, if
You know-
you're going from festival to festival and you're seeing like new rock bands, so few people take the time to do that.
And you know, even as a radio station, because we're the only English radio station in the country, you know, you say, okay, fine, let me tie up and become official radio partners to Lollapalooza. And then somebody will turn around and say, yeah, but you guys not doing any EDM. And you say, okay, fine, let's become official radio partners to Martin Garrix. You wish the phone would ring more for tickets to Lollapalooza, but the
Yeah.
phone rings more
That's the way
for
it
tickets
is.
to Martin Garrix.
That's the reality.
But we're going to try that,
Yeah.
try and change that, tune by tune, track
That's
by
right.
track.
One
and-
person at a time we're changing.
yeah, rock music is rock
Yeah.
music, man. So, you know, it's a wonderful title. It's a sweet title. And it really isn't a title that's a song title. The cliche thing for an artist to do is, oh, what's a song that I can put as a song title and just draw from there and put it.
I
want
was
start
told
with
to
that.
do that. I was told by many people, pick a song title.
But you decided to go against the tide.
Yeah.
So why Believe?
So I will just backtrack. Basically, a year ago, I was extremely sick for about 4 months. I was diagnosed with some crazy stuff, and then I was told all kinds of crazy things. As we were talking before this, doctors told me crazy stuff. You know, this is what's wrong with you. This is what you have to do. This is, you know, what will happen to you. And throughout that time, and I was always a little bit religious, but I really, really found faith in God. Like, from last April until now, my mornings, I make sure I spend time praying and giving thanks. And
Wow.
I want to believe I'm much more humble in my
You-
gratitude.
You're looking healthy, Danny.
I feel
you're
amazing.
You're looking
I feel
healthier than
amazing.
I've ever seen you.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
You're looking
He's
wonderful.
not just saying that, I hope.
No.
Did you say that to the
really
last
feel-
guest?
No,
I
I
feel
didn't.
amazing. Yeah, it was a rough 4 months. And then I feel like as I was writing music, of course, throughout the year, and I'm always writing, and every song inherently had something either about God or prayer mentioned in it, even if they're not religious songs, but they just, some line in there had something. And when I took a step back and looked at the 8 tracks, even though they aren't like coherently all intertwined with each other by any means, there's ballads, there's blues, there's rock and gospel, there's all kinds of different stuff, they all have one common denominator, which is they all have belief in something and prayer and God. Somewhere mentioned in the lyrics something, and that just sort of subliminally came out because of everything I was going through, I guess, and how I write my lyrics based on, you know, emotion and what's happening. And so as everyone's like, you know, name it a track on the album, and or name it this or this, and then Believe just sort of intertwined and wrapped everything as a whole package for me and made it make sense. And I said, you know what, this is Believe. This is like, I had to believe to get through that.
That's wonderful. And I also like that you've chosen Believe as opposed to Belief.
That's right.
Because a lot of people in your position would say, why don't I just say belief? Because it's my belief that pull you through. But believe means you continue to
You
believe.
you have to continue.
You have to
So that's why I
continue.
said it's an every morning thing
Yeah.
for me. I have to believe every morning. Everything's for a reason. And you know, I was given a great chance, and I absolutely thank God every day for that.
All right, so let's talk about the gig tonight, and then obviously you're going to go on to other cities, which I want to talk about.
Sure.
Is this your regular band? Is it a motley crew of musicians you've just accumulated over the sands
This
of
is a
time?
very funny. This is a very funny story.
Yeah.
So I do have a regular band. I've always had for shows that I've done, and actually this time is
And they're
all
called
new
something, aren't
musicians.
they? It's called Daniel
The
Weber
Mumbai Vocal.
and the Mumbai Vocal.
Yeah, and I have all new people for this tour, and that happened just out of. I mean, I don't know, because, you know, it happened because of, I said, hey, we're doing a tour, and then when it comes down to discussing commercials and everything like that, you know, people didn't see eye to eye, and unfortunately, things have to happen. And I love you all, but, you know, things have to happen in life. There's budgets for everything.
Yeah,
That's the
there's budgets
reality.
for everything. I mean, and
Yeah.
you cannot say, oh, I'm playing a small room,
Yeah, correct.
but I will still take
Correct.
the kind of money that I
Yeah.
will take for an arena or a
Absolutely.
stadium concert.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why they don't associate the person from the music.
Because the text that, the common text that I will get and other people get that are trying to put projects together or touring is, then they get this from musicians, is this is my worth. So I get that and I respect that, and I would never, you know, put that down, but fine. I'm trying to put something together that has worth also, and unfortunately it comes with budget constraints.
Sure.
So you have to, you know, I have to foot the bill for going out on tour and then hope that ticket sales, it's all a risk, right? You know who's going to show up. 5 people can show up, 500 people can show up.
Sure, and it's not cheap because you got to fly down the whole
Absolutely.
crew.
I'm not Arijit Singh.
equipment,
I can't play for 20,000 people.
Correct. Yeah. So tonight is a whole new bunch
Whole
of
new bunch
musicians.
of
I saw a
great
lovely
players.
picture of you with Mohini Dey, the bass player. She's terrific, man. I have so much
Okay.
I have so much love and regard for her. I was hoping that maybe she'd find some time to come and play a gig.
I asked her to come to guest on stage. So she
That's awesome.
said, I will let you know if I'm in town, because she tours all over the place.
Yeah, she does.
So between all the cities, hopefully she'll find, but we will definitely connect somewhere, whether it's on this leg or on another one. We had
She's
such
prodigious, man. She's
we had such a
amazing.
crazy experience. It was wild. She is beyond virtuoso. She is like,
Yeah, I mean, she started playing for Rahman when she was a kid.
she started playing bass when she was 3. Her father was like a virtuoso, I think jazz player, maybe bassist as well. And she is exactly what you think of when you think of like the word virtuoso. And
Wow.
like, let's say you think of people like the Mozarts of their instrument, she is that. And I didn't really know much about her. Actually, my manager, Arjun, was like, hey, you should hit her up. She does really cool stuff. So I went on her page for a minute. And I said, okay, cool. I saw these little collabs. I didn't actually focus that the drummer was really good too, that she was working with on those little collabs. So I hit her up. She said, okay, this will be cool. She happened to be in town. So we went into JJ Studio, and we had not spoken before that about what we're going to do. And she plugs in, and she's like slapping away, like doing her thing, like Les Claypool on steroids. And like, she's so good. And I was like, I'm so screwed right now because she is so good. And first I need to find a common denominator between us that's going to work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was so nervous. And she also has like, part of her brain, I think, is like a metronome. Because if you're like a 30-second off the beat, she's like, you're off. And you're like, what? Like, she's perfect when it comes to music. So it's intense. And we did this small collab, and it was a mix of like my style, rock and roll and blues, and everything that she does, which I think was a little bit different for what she's used to. So that was good. I was sort of kind of get her out of her comfort zone also. And the response was phenomenal. I couldn't have even thought it was going to be that good. Millions of people, and it opened me up to a whole new community, which like loves the virtuosos, like the, you know, like the G3 people, you know, like Vi and Satriani, those people. That's where she belongs.
Yeah.
She should create B3 for Bombay and put together 3 virtuoso musicians and do this tour. She's that good.
Wow.
This show is actually just about her. No, I'm kidding.
Now, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that
Yeah.
she joins Danny on stage.
Yeah, I hope so.
In any of the cities there's going to be at. Okay, so let's have you play something for us now.
Cool.
Strong for You is actually track number 8 on the Believe album, and anybody who listens to it, I love the lyric of it because it's. I mean, I have 2 girls, 12 and 5.
So
going on
this
6.
is you. Yeah, you get
So
this.
this is for me, man.
You
I
get
get
this.
it.
You get it. You get
It's about fathers, children, daughters. It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
So this came from maybe about 5 months ago. We had a puppy that was 3 months old, and she suddenly died, and she had some rare heart disorder, and she died at like 3 months old, and it totally devastated my children. And I never really thought about, because I've never had kids until now in my life, that what an effect like that it would have on them. And it did on all of us. I mean, it was such a sweet, nice puppy. And my daughter was crying, and my sons were crying, and they were so upset, and Sonny was crying, and the whole thing happened in her arms, and it was so crazy what happened. The dog had like a heart attack. It was unbelievable. And my daughter that night, when she was crying in bed, said to me, "Are you not sad? How come you're not crying?" And I was already broken from watching them. I've had many animals in my life. It's unfortunate things happen. You know, God works in crazy ways. But I told her, I said, "No, I do, and I'm completely broken watching you, what this has done to you, but I can't cry in front of you. What will that do? So it's my job to make sure that I'm your pillar and I'm strong for you. And when you need something and anything you need, and a shoulder to cry on or someone to hug." And I said that to her, and then I said it to my boys. And then I went in the room 5 minutes later, and I wrote this in probably 45 seconds.
Lovely.
And it was everything. As a father, you get it, right? It's your job to be strong.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Strong for You,
right,
Daniel
this one's
Weber,
right to my
off the
heart.
album Believe.
They teach us that we live and die, that we ought to take it all in stride. They learn to take the heavy load. Don't let the pain follow you when you go. You ask me why I never cry. In fact, I do in the middle of the night. I gotta be strong for you when you look at me, asking me, "Daddy, why?" I might not have all the answers, I might not know the reasons. I do what I can to comfort you. I'll always be strong for you. I'll be strong for you, strong for you, oh yeah. You know we're gonna bleed the same, don't matter the color of your skin. You know we're gonna cry the same, the tears roll down on every face. You ask me why I never cry. In fact, I do in the middle of the night. I gotta be strong for you when you look at me, asking me, "Daddy, why?" I might not have the answers, I might not know the reasons, but I do what I can to comfort you. I'll always be strong for you. I'll be strong for you. I'll be strong for you. Oh yeah. Got to learn to believe. Might be something that we can't see. Might be a sign, might be a feeling. It ain't for us to always know the reason. You ask me why I never cry. In fact, I do in the middle of the night. I gotta be strong for you when you look at me, asking me, "Daddy, why?" Might not have all the answers,
I might not know the reasons, but I do what I can to comfort you. I'll always be strong for you. I'm strong for you. I'm strong for you. Oh yeah.
Daniel Weber, Strong for You from the Believe album, guys. That was exclusively for you guys, acoustic on 94.3 Radio 1. Okay, I want to know the choice of cities. Now, when I go through the list of cities, I mean, there are two gigs in Delhi. Not really Delhi. One is Delhi
other is
NCR,
separate.
the other
Yeah.
is Gurugram, which are both fab venues. I love Piano Man. It's a
never
great
been
place
there.
to be. Oh,
But I
you're going
heard
to
it's
love your
cool.
time there.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then there's Pune, and then there's Hyderabad. So you want to talk me through the choice of cities? How did you go through some statistics which said people are streaming your music more in those cities?
I
don't
did
know.
nothing of the sort. I actually let Arjun from Curiosity say, hey, you know what? We're going to reach out to about 15 cities. We're going to get feedback. First leg is going to be whatever we can get you in right now, because people don't know your new music, and you got to get it in there. You got to play, and you got to win them over. It's English music, and it's rock and roll, and it's blues, and as you know, it's like, it's like a rarity or something, like an exotic animal, and right, like, and
So that's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
whoever will have us will go there.
Right now, if the
rather than
venues are-
trying to push the tide.
yeah, and then the second leg we'll do more up north, let's say Siliguri and Naga and all these areas, and so we'll do up there, and then I think in May we will do something with the Hard Rock, and we'll do a bunch of their venues, and then we'll kind of sit down and go, okay, what worked for us, what didn't, and then where are we going next out of India?
That's nice. And I'm so glad that you are doing the Northeast, because that really is the hotbed and the home of rock music.
Yeah, correct.
If you see, festivals that happen out of the Northeast,
Yeah.
musicians just come back so satisfied and happy. It's
Yeah, I played this
unbelievable.
Kasuli Blues Fest once
Oh.
up there. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. In the mountains, randomly, 10,000 people show up, and what they have to do to get to that spot is remarkable in itself. So yeah, it was great.
Lovely. So what Danny is doing is him and this freshly minted band are traveling through the end of March. So tonight is Beta 91 Tap Room right here in Mumbai City. Tomorrow he just takes the drive to Pune. It's High Spirits Pune. On the 27th, that's Piano Man El Deco Center in Delhi, followed by the very next day Piano Man in Gurugram, the Delhi NCR. And 29th and 30th, he's pretty much performing every night, 27th to the 30th. 29th, he takes a plane into Bangalore, performs at the Beta 91 Tap Room there. And finally, this set of 6 shows gets over at EXT in Hyderabad. There is some market in Hyderabad because Bryan Adams
Yeah.
managed to sell about 25,000 concert tickets, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so
and
if
a
I
lot of
wait
people
40 years, I'll also sell 25,000.
yeah, with
done
all
his
the
work.
sing-along, with all the sing-along, waving hands at the
Yeah,
air kind of things.
exactly.
That's lovely. So, are there any places you haven't played at all in? Have you played Hyderabad before, Pune before? My question to you.
No, I've been, but never played. I've been every place. Between myself and Sunny, we do events all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly her events, appearances, stuff. So I'm always, like, hey, I'll come to that. That's cool. But I've never performed at those places.
Wow.
So let's see.
So when the Disparos were together, what did you do? Did you
did
do a couple of
Kasuli.
hard rock gigs?
We did a Kasuli festival. We did a Hard Rock. We did, what else did we do? One other place, a random venue. I don't even know what it was.
So anyway, this is good because
Only
you
in
don't
India,
know what
that's
to
all we did.
expect here. You don't
No,
know what
I
to
don't know,
expect. You
yeah.
know who's going to show up.
And
This
Mumbai
is
is
pretty
like,
cool.
like sort of like anxious for me because I had to invite well, I wanted to invite, not had to, sorry. And, and I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And my wife knows a lot of people. And it's a lot of pressure because I know that there's like 200 friends coming,
Sure.
alone, besides all the other people that will hopefully come, knock on wood. And so it's a lot of pressure because those are like my people. And so I need to be good.
Yeah.
Opposed to going to like High Spirits. I don't know if they know me there or they don't know me there, so maybe less judgment.
Okay, let's come to a bit of the blues. You took my blues away as very obvious blues-based song.
Yeah.
And there's another one. I think New York Alley Cats.
Yeah, it's kind of bluesy.
Kind of bluesy.
Blues rock, yeah.
So, I don't think I've ever asked you this before. Do you grow up on a bit of blues?
I didn't
Or was it just
really
rock?
rock. I got into some blues later on with more like offshoot bands. Like, so I grew up, let's say, loving the Allman Brothers, but then I got really into Warren Haynes as an artist, a solo artist, and he's really a blues-based artist. But I was never into, let's say, like a John Mayer or a Johnny Lang from like
Or
the
a
newer
Muddy Waters or a
generations.
Taj Mahal.
Of course,
or
look, Muddy Waters. We all grew up on Muddy Waters and Buddy Guy and B.B. King. Of course, I've seen all of them live a dozen times. But that's like a whole another generation of what they did was so remarkable. And I wasn't really influenced by them. I was influenced by the people that they influenced. Let's say the Jerry Garcia band. So even though the Grateful Dead wasn't a blues band, they were still blues rock based. Even though they were psychedelia in the 60s and early 70s, their songs are still rock and blues. But their offshoot bands, let's say Bob Weir's or Garcia's, those are just blues and blues rock bands. And I got into the covers that they did, and then went and found the originals and said, oh, that's really cool. The original's really great. I've been listening to it as a cover song from them for 5 years, let's say, and I totally dig it. Let's say How Sweet It Is. And I go, oh, that's cool. I would love to put that in my set. So that's in the set. But then I go back and I listen to the original and I go, oh, that's way cooler. So a lot of times the artists you like turn you on to stuff that you happen to either think is actually theirs. And you could actually do this with rock artists. Take let's say, Poison. You know, I grew up with them singing like, your mama don't dance and your daddy don't. But that's not theirs, you know, like, or, you know, Motley Crue had tons of covers that they did. A lot of them get big on great covers.
Correct.
And you don't realize it.
So how's the set list going to be like? Is it going to be the same through all the cities?
No, I never do the same show twice.
Wow.
Ever.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And would you do the whole of Believe, the 8 tracks, and then some more? Or
No.
are you going to play it by the ear? I don't know.
No, so for Mumbai, it's probably about 20 songs. And then, and I don't even think I'm playing the whole album. I don't think I will play Show Me the Way, because that's like this immense gospel rock and blues song, and I don't know that I even have it in me to sing it properly on stage. I would need to practice that a lot more, or have a lot of other people on stage with me. And
There is a female vocal on Show Me the Way.
yeah, there's tons. There's 2 and 4 on almost all of the songs on the
There's
choruses.
a very strong female
Yeah.
vocal on Show Me the Way.
Yeah,
Isn't
so
it?
that's why that's so gospel for me in the back, that I have females on stage with me, of course. I have 2 backup singers and they're phenomenal, but I need more. I need like the gospel to get that to come across.
So there would be, let's say, about 6 tracks from here.
6 or 7 from there,
Believe.
and then I do a couple from the Disparos. I do a couple from other solo stuff that I did, and then I do about 4 or 5 covers too.
And what would you be covering, for example?
I'll do How Sweet It Is. I'll do, I'm gonna do Summer of '69. I've never done a Bryan Adams song, and actually it wasn't because he was here. It randomly, I heard it when I was in the gym, and I said, that's kind of a cool song. I'll just do it. Not that I didn't know it was cool before. I grew
At
up
least
on it.
everybody would know the lyrics.
Yeah, correct. And I've never been one to pick covers that people know. I'm going to do a song by The Faces or Rod Stewart, which is called Ooh La La, which most people think is called something else because the lyrics are, I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. So people always think that that's the song, but it's actually called Ooh La La. And people don't realize like that's Ronnie Wood and you know, Rod Stewart and all them, but that's original Faces in the 70s. And I will do a old blues song called My Sisters and My Brothers. That's actually that is a proper church song.
Wow.
And we have sort of redone it our way and made it rock and blues. And I will do another one called Harder They Come. And what else? I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 other covers. I'm not really big, you know, in the set, the covers are like my weakest songs.
Fair enough, as long as you get your own material great.
Yeah, like, that's it. I'm much better at my own material, so I never was great at covers. And like, so people won't be disappointed. Maybe I'm harder on myself because I know what it's supposed to sound
But this
like.
is fantastic because, you know, a lot of people, a lot of you who are listening to us or watching us would know Rod Stewart. But Rod Stewart started off with this band called The Faces, and Ron Wood is the Rolling
Yeah.
Stones Ron Wood.
And most people don't know this whole
Yeah,
thing,
they
right?
don't know
Yeah.
that it's the Rolling Stones Ron
Yeah.
Wood, who's still doing 178 shows a year.
Amazing at
Keith Richards
75 years old. I mean, it's amazing.
and Big Jagger.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Can we have New York Alley Cats?
Wow, cool.
Let's do that.
Let's do this.
New York Alley Cats.
Wow.
It's on the album Believe.
Okay.
It's track number 2. And Daniel Weber is going to play it for us.
I'm going to do an
Go check it
acoustic
out.
version of this. There ain't no difference between the dark and the light. Shadow of the moon is gonna be a fight. Run around the corner, asking for light. You better watch out, you better carry a knife. In the shadow beneath the cracks, New York Alley Cats. Where the street lights, they flickering low. You can't see who to cut through the fog. You think you see what you think you hear. From the back of your head comes a good night blow. From the shadow beneath the cracks, New York Alley Cats. Take your money, they take your gold, take your love, you better hold her go. Take your clothes, you better dress up warm. Nothing worth nothing is nothing more. Some say you better go away, others say you better stay away. If you hear the right's gonna run away, you better turn around, you better hope and pray. In the shadow beneath the cracks, New York Alley Cats. New York Alley Cats. New York Alley Cats, New York Alley Cats. In the shadow beneath the cracks, New York Alley Cats. Usually a total electric song.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And it really is about that, isn't it? New York Alley Cats.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's about New York crime, New York back alley, crazy stuff that goes on.
And you're an animal lover. I mean, how many cats have you adopted?
No cats. I'm a dog person. This is like New York crime, like the New York like crime scene that goes on. I grew up in New York, 30 years living there, and this is about like the dark alleyways, what goes on, like getting mugged and all this stuff, like in the Brooklyn,
It's
New
crazy
York
how
area.
safe Mumbai is, isn't it? I mean, you could go to any dark alley and you'd never get mugged.
You know, and there's a big misconception
Yeah.
from the outside world when they like think of Mumbai. They're like, oh man, that place is crazy. I'm like, it's so safe in Mumbai. It's crazy. Anybody can walk down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is remarkable.
And these places,
Like, how is that even possible though?
yeah. I
Because
mean,
it's so chaotic.
it's
Because
crazy.
and
isn't
other
it? Yeah.
cities aren't like that. So what do you think it is that Mumbai is
I
so
think
safe?
there's a huge thing about karma. You know, it's about if Daniel Weber or Hrishi K are walking down the street with a nice pair of Nikes and they haven't done anything to me, if I beat them up and steal those Nikes and go away, it's just bad karma for me.
Wow, the world really needs to take notice and take a lesson of that.
it's-
Because that's amazing.
It's Indian philosophy, isn't
Wow,
it?
I love that.
But if somebody hurts you, it's not always an eye for, show the other cheek. It's an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Which is why the crime rate hasn't really come down that much. There's still people committing murder and arson.
Yeah, that's anywhere.
But that's because two individuals could be having problems.
Yeah, you don't
know.
see it on these like large scale, like coordinated things. Let's say like in the States, what's going on where there's like mobs doing crazy stuff right now. Like right now it's everything against Tesla dealerships because they're all fanatically crazy and mad at Elon or whatever's going on, and like, or they're mad at the president and they'll do this. And politics aside, they like sort of like round each other up to get motivated to do something bad. You don't really see that here.
Yeah.
You're like, it's just like one or two people that are mad at each other and then they do something bad, but they don't drag like hundreds of others in on it.
Correct.
So.
Okay, back to the music. To me, my favorite Daniel Weber song is Lose Somebody. It's just lovely.
Wow.
It's one of those soaring ballads. You played it for me before, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to get you to play it, but I'm so glad that it found space in your album. I mean,
Yeah.
I know an album comes at the end of a long string of singles, but you could have left it out. You put it in there,
I wanted to leave
which
it
is
out.
lovely. You did?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, it's funny. Everybody says the same thing. They love that song, but I base things on how they feel live, and I don't love playing that song live. Even though it's in my set, and like get to it in the set list, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this.
Yeah,
right.
it's more a solo listening experience.
Yeah, correct.
It's not a live song. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
but I pull it off and I do it live, and it's great. And but it's hard for me to get it correct. So then I was like, I don't want it on the album. I'm mad at that song, and then because of how it felt at my last live show, because everything's tied to emotion for me.
So I know that Strong for You is very close to you emotionally. Is there any other song that is really close to you emotionally? Would it be Memories? I don't know.
Not really. Show Me the Way is me to God when I was sick and when I got through it, and with his help getting me through it, and probably all his help and not mine. And that is me talking
The
to
most
God.
personal song on the album.
Is that me talking directly to God, and why I also didn't want to put that in the live set. I just thought that is just way too personal, and people just might be like, what the hell is going on right now? This is like way too deep. This belongs at like a speakeasy.
Is it a big thing to choose the first album opener song?
Well,
I mean, a lot
it
of
is for
record
other
labels,
people.
Record labels make such a big deal about it. The album opener and things like that.
I mean,
or is there any
I was
particular
told
reason
that
that Hands
too.
of Time is right up there?
I love the opening of it. Piano opens, and then the band just kicks in, and it's got big vocals too, big gospel vocals behind. Can't stop the hands of time, and it's just got like all the elements. It's got a killer guitar solo in it. The arrangement's cool. The bridge is kick-ass. The words I love. So it just had everything for me. That's all. I just kind of went through the list. I probably spent 5 minutes doing the arrangement. But you're right. And I thought about arrangements all the time of like great albums. I was like, why was Welcome to the Jungle first and It's So Easy second? Why was not like, and like their best ballad is on, used to be B-side when it was, when we were kids. Like, why was Sweet Child of Mine 9? Like something like that. Why was it not like second? Like, why was Great Songs? Why was Paradise City 5? Like, why wasn't that? So there probably was a thought process whenever you think of like, if you think of your 5 greatest albums and then break down the list, I'm sure there was a long process of like what's first.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to Pearl Jam's 10, for example.
That's in the list actually of 10
go-
albums that you would have to own to understand great albums.
So I'm like,
That's in the list.
why? I understand why they put Black where it is.
Yeah. What does it open with?
Even Flow.
Yeah, which is interesting.
which is
Yeah,
interesting.
that was a big break song for them. Like we watched that video. And he was
Alive,
like climbing up on the rafters.
Alive comes, I think, 4.
Even Flow, that was great. Yeah,
Alive comes on a 4 or something,
which is random, right?
Which is random.
Another one is like the Metallica Black album was like during that same time when they came out. With that album, like everybody was like, oh, like Enter Sandman's not first. I think it opens with something else.
Something else.
Yeah, so like I said, there's like 10 albums that people say that you should have to own from that time period. But anyway, no, there's not such a thought process.
And You Took My Blues Away is a nice pun on You Took My Breath Away.
Oh, interesting. No, I
Talk to
didn't
me
even
about the
think
writing of that.
I was just having a sweet, 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 loving moment with my amazing wife. And then I just went in the back and I was writing and I said, you know what? I never write anything to her that's like, something that's just like easy and loving. And so it just kind of came out like, you know what? It's just it. And that's what she does. Yeah. And she's just all around great. I'm so lucky.
So that is the sunny song.
Yeah.
You
and
Took My Blues Away.
And it's so least expected, like, but if you really read the words, then it just makes sense.
Yeah. Stay With Me. That's the only one we haven't discussed so far.
Oh.
Memories would be generic memories, right? Like
Yeah, Memories is about the couples fighting, and then there's a great music video for that where I'm in the music video, but it's about a couple. The husband ends up cheating, the wife ends up catching him, and then they living in a house together, and then she finds out and she burns the house down. In the video, it's crazy, epic, and it's big, and it's done in LA, and it was really amazing. So it's sort of, the words exactly are what it is. It's a story. It's the typical couple that fights and loses everything, and the whole point is like, just having all those memories, do anything to save a relationship? Or is it just like, I'm done. I'll just burn it all down and not care. Stay With Me is, God, when did I write that last year? But I don't know what mindset I was in. I think that what was that? I don't know, actually. I don't think that was tied to anything. I think it was just...
We have a
power
box
ballad.
for us when we die, a hole that fits us all inside.
Oh, yeah.
This is Daniel Weber.
Have a
Did you
box
live the
for us
way
when
you
we
wanted to?
die.
Did you love the one you thought you would?
Fits us all inside.
You know, we lived on the razor's edge. How could I help you? I lost myself. Well, that's quite crazy.
Yeah, it's almost
You
like
knew we'd crashed, you
Bonnie
watched
and
us
Clyde.
burn. So we hit the gas and we never looked back. Yeah, sometimes you know you're going down a very dangerous road,
Yeah,
but
but
you just
you just
hit
do
the
it
gas.
anyway. Yeah. Well, me and Sonny have done that a while in our life. You know, we've done some crazy things, and you know, everyone knows our life. And
Yeah.
you know, they'll always be like, "Man, you have any regrets?" I'm like, "No." And we just were full throttle for so long, like on crazy stuff and our decisions, and we didn't really look at all around us and be like, "Is this going to affect anybody else?" But we were just like, "The hell with it," and we just did.
Yeah, but now things are different. I mean,
Yeah,
once you become
correct.
a parent, it's all
Yeah,
about
it's all different,
It's
yeah.
all about those three now.
Yes, that's all it's
Yeah.
about. So there's a lot of that in there for sure. Have you ever watched Natural Born Killers?
Of course I have.
That is very much like that. That's what that reminds
Chilling.
me of afterwards when I wrote it. I go, this feels like
Stone, right? Oliver Stone.
it's
Was it Natural Born Killers?
it's
Scorsese or Stone? Stone. Yeah.
Stone. It's what's his name is
Oliver Stone.
and acting it is what's his name? Oh my god. So it's very much like that.
It's
crazy
it's very
couple.
graphic. I remember it being so. It's crazy couple. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they'll do anything. Like they're willing to kill anybody for their love, and you know,
I'd be damned. Francis Ford Coppola. No, Natural Born Killers.
yeah.
I was right. Oliver Stone, Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis,
Yeah, and it was
the
nuts.
great Robert Downey Jr. and Tommy
Yes.
Lee Jones.
And they're like,
A story by Quentin Tarantino.
Wow.
That explains
what a lineup.
the violence,
Yeah, correct.
the artistic violence.
And how they're so violent,
Oliver
but
Stone.
for the love of each other, they're willing to do anything. Like they're willing to go down in like a blaze of glory, right, for each other, no matter what. So that's really, Stay With Me sort of is like that,
Wow.
you know.
Really interesting. All right, guys. It's the Believe India Tour. It celebrates Daniel Weber's brand new album, Beta 91 Taproom tonight in Mumbai. Skillbox is where you can get tickets. Otherwise, show up at the venue. Tomorrow is at High Spirits in Pune. Next week, there are lots of dates. Piano Man Delhi, Piano Man Gurgaon, Beta 91 Taproom Bangalore, and EXT Hyderabad also starts streaming Believe the album, so that you can sing along with Danny when he comes to your city. And he's promised us more. This is just the March leg. He's going to be touring more. I hope to see you at the GNR concert, though. That's
know, I should
May
go.
17th.
I went to, when Slash came here, I went because my buddy Todd is the bass player in the band. So I was on stage, which was a great way to see the band. And I've seen that band from the side stage, on stage a million times through the US tour because, again, Todd and I used to play with him in Vegas a lot. So when he called, he's like, I'm coming to India. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So then it was really nice to see it like that. GNR, I saw on their, maybe like 4 years ago or something.
I believe Axel's vocals were not very
Not
good at that
so
time.
great,
Apparently,
like-
he's back in his top of his game.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah, that's what people are saying now.
Their drummer just left yesterday.
Yeah?
This Frank something. So I'm
That
waiting to
sounds
see
good.
if it's going to be Matt Sorum or maybe Steven Adler. Who knows?
The great Matt
Let's
Sorum.
see.
I mean, that was the lineup, wasn't it? Duff
That was the lineup,
McKagan,
yeah.
Matt Sorum.
Originally it was Steven Adler.
Steven Adler, yeah,
But,
then Sorum, yeah.
But let's see. They're going to announce, I think, because their tour starts in 6 weeks, so they will announce in the next week who their drummer is. So everybody's wondering because this is a very interesting space that they're in now. 6 weeks before your world tour to lose your drummer is a little strange.
Wow.
So
That's
we'll
the
see.
story.
But it'll be
Mumbai.
cool. I'll go see it. I'll see it. Why not?
Yeah, go find
Yeah.
Daniel Weber online, follow him on Instagram, and keep listening to Radio 1. We're going to play some of his music, and go catch Believe in concert as well as in audio form. What are the videos looking like? Are you making some more?
Let's see.
Releasing feature?
I've done 3 already for this album. I did Lose Somebody. I did
Somebody is the one
Memories.
with the boxing ring, right?
Boxing, yeah.
I love that.
I did Memories. I've done Stay With Me. Wait, did I do Stay With Me? Yeah, I did Stay With Me. Yeah, I did a whole transition video where it's like me from age to all the way to like 80 years old in the video. And then I will do Hands of Time inside a really old Pentecostal church with proper gospel out in the middle of nowhere.
you
in
shot
the
it already?
States.
Have you filmed
no,
it?
No, we have everything all set up.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Yeah, so keep your ears and eyes out for videos. Is there a Daniel Weber YouTube channel? Yeah.
So there's a Disparrows YouTube channel which has all the videos, and there is a Daniel Weber also YouTube channel that everything
Good stuff. So go keep an eye out for the videos. Danny, thanks for rolling by. This was great fun as always.
Thank you so much
Cheers,
for having
man.
me. Thank
Cheers.
you.
94.3 Radio 1.